But
Yeah, I think Ghost.
he should have been envious. I think that's that's something that's really creative, man. I don't think it was that envy where he hated him for doing it, but I just think it's like shit. This they came up with some dope shit.
No, he
Some you
said he
wish you would
wanted.
have did. You
He
know what
said
I'm
he
saying?
wanted. That's what he said. He said he wanted to do that.
Oh.
Because I think the embodiment of it is that at the end of the day, it's only about the message, right? The message is not important,
Right. Yeah.
and so it don't matter who delivering it if it's truth. And so, but I like that boy. I like him. He eclectic.
Who that?
I think
Ghost.
I think he underrated. Yeah.
Yeah. He. I mean, that's him and Mos Def are my favorite two rappers. Period.
Okay.
Those who albums I bang all the time. But this week, man, I had to throw on that Nas Illmatic, man, and that shit, man. God damn, dog. I'm looking at this like, oh, was this cat on there like 18, 19 years old?
Yep.
Man, that motherfucker was rapping his ass
I mean,
off.
I know it's blasphemy to say this, and it's hard to say this because
Yeah,
of
you about to say
Illmatic.
that.
Hey, I'm about to
You
say
about to
something,
say
man.
that.
You
Go
know, a
ahead and
couple
say this dumb. No, I want.
about
I
2 months
want.
ago, I had to choke a nigga out. So Tone don't wind up on the end, man.
That's what he gonna end up, man. He about to come with this bullshit that we've been. Go ahead, man. I want to hear you still say it, man.
I'm
God,
saying, I just don't want to know if y'all. I mean, I think that album still. I mean, that's Stillmatic. That Illmatic. I think that album.
Oh
I think
goodness,
Illmatic is absolutely brilliant,
it's
and
brilliant.
I'm
oh,
just saying, like, so when I hear Illmatic, and of course that's the creme de la creme from what the times and what it did for hip hop. But so, and I know you can't compare it to it, but man, get the yeah, that Illmatic is. I'm saying if Illmatic is a 10, Illmatic is a 9.79,
It's
9.8.
up there. Elmatic
it,
is up there.
it could be a 10 too. Shit, it
Yeah,
ain't wrong to
Elmatic
be.
is up there.
It could be, but again, I think the originality of it is the only thing that would take from it.
But the problem, no, it's a 10 because the problem is when you create a body of work that's inspired by a body of work and you capture the
Right.
same moment, but you still was able to make it yours. That's why I love listening to Elmatic because he was able to make it his.
Yeah.
Oh man. So
Yeah.
I guess
That's
I
just
mean, yeah.
Yeah,
that's just like when um Jay Electronica he do his ghost of such and such artist or something like that, and he get to rap it like them. You know what I'm saying? That to me is, you know what I'm saying? He don't use their lyrics, but he may use their cadence.
style like we did the Ghost of Christopher Wallace.
To Christopher
That was
Wallace. That
crazy.
was dope as shit, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't care, how, creativity, even that, like you said, if it's something that's spawned off of something else, you know what I'm saying? It just reminds me of what Dr. Michael Eric Dyson said on I Stand Alone. At the end, I Stand Alone, when he says, um, surely, what do he say? The black, what do he say? African originality is. I might be saying this wrong, so I'm trying to paraphrase. Is surely it's repetition? And he said, but we add our voice each go round. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
something like that.
Yeah, something like that, man. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
And
yeah, I do think it's like a painting, right? It's like with continuous strokes. And if you turn the painting to the side, like you get to probably can see how many strokes it took to make those dimensional colors. And we all
yes,
a stroke. However, I'm just when I think about again, especially at the essence of it, when I think about originality, and I'm not saying, you know what I'm saying, there wouldn't be no Illmatic without Illmatic.
yeah,
So I think that's the highest form of flattery is that um however again. So to me, D'Angelo's cruising just for me, this like I said with my criteria, it can't be better than Smokey's cruising. It could be, but
Okay, I see what you're saying.
no, I get what you're saying. I get
because
exactly what
so yeah, I think it's a carbon copy. So I believe in better and best. But again, like I don't feel like I can be greater than my father, in regardless of what I would ever accomplish, because I'm from him, you know. So it's a measure, but I could be wrong, you know.
I mean, but that's like saying, like when when Michael Jackson as a kid sung "Who's Loving You" and Smokey had done it before. You know, it's some of that shit you just have to give to that person who comes after you and do it. That's just like Luther Vandross came in and did so many remakes that we didn't even know were remakes because
Yeah, yeah.
Luther. You
A
know
lot
what
of
I'm saying?
Donny Hathaway. A lot of Donny Hathaway
Saying
remakes.
he ate that shit up and it became his.
I
You
don't think
know.
he ate Donny Hathaway up. I just said he just
No, 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 no,
okay.
no. He ate the songs up. He ate the no. He didn't eat Donny Hathaway. No, no. But I'm saying it's so many songs that Luther would do, man, and just you
You're
know,
right. You're right.
you
I
know,
mean, I can take that.
10-year-old Michael Jackson doing "Who's Loving You" and Smokey, whatever age he was when he first did it. Like he said, what's my man name that ran Motown? God,
Very good.
Barry Gordy at the Michael Jackson performed it. He looked at him and said, man, the kid got you, man. And then Smokey said, yeah, you might as well just go ahead, let him have that. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Because that 10-year-old sung that shit with passion, man. And it's something about that, man. I mean, when you remake something that you could, man, you put your stamp on it and make it that beautiful, man.
How many?
Come on.
I mean, honestly, how many? I mean, and again, the Carpenters did some shit like that Superstar, and then Luther came behind it, and like you said, just murdered it. You ain't even know who did it first. Right. So that's
Oh,
his
yeah.
popularity, and that's like, again, we can say the same thing about the Star Spangled Banner. You heard that shit a million times. But when Jimmy played it and when Whitney sung it or Marvin sung it, it just
Yeah.
it's a different words, like you said, when you can make it your own. So I can get that.
That's just like when New Edition did Mr. Telephone Man. There's another brother. I'm looking him up now. When New Edition did Mr. Telephone Man, and then you go back and you look at, the dude that did it first. His name Junior Tucker.
Okay.
Junior Tucker, you know what I'm saying? Did Mr. Telephone Man first, man, and then you heard Bobby Brown singing that shit, and it was like, yeah, that's Bobby's song. I mean, there's New Edition song, but Bobby killed that shit, man.
A good song is gonna be a good song forever, I would imagine.
Yeah, I mean, we don't heard some people get hold of songs like Beyonce and fuck shit up. You know what I'm saying? She fucked up Frankie Beverly and May shit. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
And I
man.
know, what I'm saying, like
There's a
some
lot
shit.
of Beyonce hate here, man. Beyonce could blow, dog.
No, I didn't say she couldn't blow. Now, I mean, that was my original thought when I first heard it, that she was average, but no, she's far above average, far above average. She's great,
So you
but
just
I'm
messed
just
that
saying
one up.
I just think she didn't do that window service, man. She didn't do that. She didn't do
I
that.
tell you who she wasn't a better.
And she destroyed Cadillac Records.
What?
She destroyed Cadillac Records, man.
This nigga talking to us on the CB.
breaker.
This motherfucker got a CB.
Can't hear you.
Here's your BJ and bandit ass. But yeah, he said she destroyed Cadillac Records. No, what was the name of that song she did?
I think she mean the
the song that last, yeah. No, she
didn't mess that up to me.
No. I don't think she messed that up. I thought she did her thing. You think she fucked it up, T?
She definitely destroyed it, bro.
Really?
Definitely butchered it, bro.
Well, I mean,
some shit you just touched, dog. Some shit you just.
Some things should just be left alone, of course. But everybody get creative enough to take their shot.
Yeah. He said I thought she did all right with it myself.
I think she did too, man.
I thought she did all right with it. Like I said, I just didn't like how she did the Frankie Beverly joint. That was it, man. But I thought, other than that, I mean, that's another sister, man.
I'll tell you what song. I don't know who sung it before, but when Jennifer Hudson did that, "You're Gonna Love Me" on Dream Girls, my God, that's one of the best.
Oh, go ahead. Oh, go. You know why she sung it like that? Go ahear the original.
Yeah.
when you hear the original, she sung that mother. Like hitting all the crazy notes and shit.
Yeah,
Like she had an attitude. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? With her head moving, she sung the
Yes, sir.
song like that.
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
not walking
But
out.
ain't no, she not Jennifer. Jennifer's different.
Yeah.
Jennifer is Jennifer's a virtuoso. She's very different.
yeah.
Like she
Yeah.
just don't have the name and the stuff like that. She is. It's not a lot of them out there like that.
I
That's
think
all.
if you
That's
go
an
by,
old soul right
like if you
there.
went by, yeah, I was about to say if you went by pure voice,
Yeah, pure
Jennifer,
voice alone. It's
yeah, pure voice alone, she's up there. You know what I'm saying?
Like, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? She kicking ass, man.
I'm gonna tell you who have an amazing voice who was never trained, and if you listen to her shit, you feel everything she say.
Mavis
Amy,
Staples.
Amy Winehouse.
oh
No,
no.
Amy
Amy
Winehouse.
Winehouse is amazing.
Amy Winehouse is
And you hit
cold,
it on
man.
the head. The fact that she's not she
Trained.
she is amazing. Her voice
Yeah,
alone. Oh,
Yeah,
she's amazing.
yeah.
yeah. She got a song, you know I'm
What?
no good, man. And then she did that shit, and then Ghost took that shit and rapped on it, man. You gotta hear it, man.
Oh wow.
It's
But
called you.
another one, man. I had no idea. I'm talking and I heard a voice and I just shut up. I didn't want to look at the
Valerie.
TV or nothing. It was Lady Gaga.
Yeah.
Lady Gaga can sing. I
You
never listened
gotta,
to.
oh my God. It was crazy. Can
I ain't never
sing.
listened to Lady Gaga. Lady Gaga.
Oh man, she
Yeah,
is.
because she looked like a Gaga.
She looked like the what was that motherfucker? Marilyn Manson. That's who she looked like.
Yeah, Gaga.
Yeah, yeah. She looked weird. She has a weird ass face and shit. But yeah.
You want to get to the topic of the day?
Man, do I want to go in there right now? Well, we can. We can go right. We can talk about it. You know, let me
And
go
what was you
ahead.
feeling?
Huh?
What was
No,
you feeling?
I wasn't. It wasn't. It wasn't. You said what was I feeling?
Yeah, yeah.
No, talking about about going into the topic, or what I was about to say before that.
Just I was wondering what you was feeling about the topic. Why.
Oh, no, it's just man, it's such a actually, I'm not gonna lie, it's such a disappointing topic to have to even discuss. Um, and I hate to see a bit.
Or maybe we should just delve up into it. Like
Yeah, I
just
hate to
the subject
a bit
alone. Like
hesitant. Yeah,
'cause I don't really that's a rough one for me to kind of talk
yeah,
about too.
yeah, because and the topic is why is black male success falsely associated with homosexuality? So why is it that when black men step into the arena of success and they come into what people feel is success, money, because that's what the hell it is. It's just people counting their pockets and stuff like that. There's always this stigma placed on them, of being some type of sexual deviant or weirdo. I'm sorry, and or that they had to have sex with somebody to some man had to have sex with them in order for them to make it. um in fact, I remember one conversation that I was having at the shop when they were talking about it wasn't Shannon Sharp at the time. It was they were talking about Will Smith. The whole thing with Will Smith had come up again, and people were talking about Will Smith. My man had came out against his homeboy had come out and said that he was having sex with Dwayne, that he walked in on having sex with Dwayne Martin, and somebody was like, well, shit, I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it. That could have happened. Cause shit, I wouldn't be surprised if Denzel did it too. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, motherfucker, you throw Denzel in there? You know what I'm saying? Like, where the fuck you get this shit from, man? You just decide to throw the OG in there like that, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? This is a man who openly spoke against black man putting on dresses, you know, and stuff like that. But now you want to say because he's successful, you know. And like I told him before I left, I said all it is. I said whenever black men do this, and I didn't want to, you know, attack that brother with that. I said, but what it is when black men do that, in my opinion, when a black man does that to another black man, it is him justifying his failures or not wanting to work as hard for something. So when I hear shit like that, that's what that gives me. It gives me those type of vibes. It's bad enough we got our women that do it, you know what I'm saying, to us. But when we as brothers do that shit has a whole nother sting to it to me, man. You know what y'all think, man?
I mean, I think the topic alone it lends some credibility because we have to, like you say, like the examples of how do you get associated with a lifestyle by being successful, right? And some people, when they do get success, they attribute it to a lifestyle, like because I got money. If I put my dick in a woman, then put my dick in a dude, it was a lifestyle, right? And I don't know. I'm not saying that. And some people use because like let's think about like buck breaking, right? The concept of getting the strongest melanated man and these Anglos putting their dick in him publicly to shame him, right? To dehumanize him, right? Whatever this pleasure is with the ass, right? With the asshole, I think it got something to do with these two chakras clashing to tear the pineal gland to create this trauma. But regardless, I'm thinking like to get fucked publicly by a man is, I would imagine, behind closed doors or publicly would be humiliating. That's not what you into. So again, it's the shame that come with it, because I think it's the almost that, because I don't know if you haven't felt that, but I've like feeling like we're not supposed to have or reach a certain level. But again, a lot of the gatekeepers are the gay ones. A lot of the gatekeepers of what they consider fame, access, industry, the people who hold the keys, they are the sexual deviants. Because you think about some of these structures, right? And I know it's a power and control thing. Like, I don't give a fuck if it's prison, if it's the army, if it's the Catholic Church, Penn State, or Boy Scouts. You leave boys alone with men or males alone too long, somebody gonna have a dick in that. And it's gonna be from a sexual deviant that control these structures. So the ones who, like, again, using Diddy as an example, I do think it lends to some where you to get initiated, to get access, to get a certain, beyond your talent and skills, you need access to resources and other platforms. And the only person I can see now who has the ability to control completely our image is a bitch, and that's Tyler Perry, right? So in my mind, they're not doing us no favors by having this shit readily available to make brothers look gay when they reach a level of success. That is the thing that causes the embarrassment, or your people start dissing you. Like you say, you don't even know this man, but you're by hearsay, you're going to throw Denzel into this, when he, so I don't know. I think it's a lot to talk about, but I can see how some of the gatekeepers and some of the people with agenda can assist in that and showing us those images.
So when so you say you leave boys alone with men, some too long is gonna be some sexual deviancy. So
when has it not been?
I'm
not saying in all cases. I'm saying about sexual deviance.
No, I mean you have sexual deviance, but I don't think the three of us on here, we alone, along with some boys in the hood.
We can't. Let's not do that. We can't make a discussion about us three when we're talking about black men, and then the way he talks about it, men's erotic behavior or nefarious behavior.
Mm-hmm.
He a lot of the things that we do, it would, a lot of things that probably would surprise us that we do are like psychologically led by sex. You know what I'm saying? Like, and let's just think about it. Like, if you watch, I always say this: if you watch Criminal Minds, right, a lot of the behavior you see is linked to sexuality. Like, they could tell by what was done at the crime or the scene of the crime, or if a dude is biting you, or if he's
Yeah,
sodomizing you, they tell. Like, you ever see it in Criminal Mind, they'd be like, he would be an African American male who doesn't go to school. You know what I'm saying? They're able to track the type of person you are due to whatever you've done sexually. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's
Profiling.
what you're
Yeah,
talking about, Tone. Yeah, the
yeah,
profile. That what
yeah.
you're saying?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
saying like, well, I mean, I'm not accusing anything. And again, I can go even deeper because a lot of these are not saying they're not oppressive Euro Anglo tactics because it's unnatural in one sense. I'm not saying all people. I'm saying in constructs and industries where, again, sexual deviance can be used as power and control. And when you think about manipulation, like you say, in the Boy Scouts and Penn State, when you got these football players in the Army, where you got, it's ways of controlling people. And again, this male on male is a dominant thing, I think. So I'm saying, I think to do shit like that is a sexual deviancy. Like to fuck a little boy, to rape a
no,
man.
yeah, yeah, no, that is sexual deviancy. I was just confused, when you said that when you leave men alone, or with children or something for what. That's what I'm like, because I don't think that, will naturally is something that naturally happens. I think that is something that is freakish. I think that is something that is devious. But I don't, and I don't
Hold
think
on. You think what's freakish to have sex with little boys?
yes, or with other men when when you're alone. You know what I'm saying? That's
But what if that's what I'm saying? Like, I had this discussion a little too often sometimes about this. But once we make um, the topic of discussion about sexuality, and we take the nature of biology out of it, then it's a free for all. It doesn't make sense. No argument make if dude want to see a house shoe and run up in it, because it's not about the biology part in terms of reproduction and this, that, and the third. So we're not talking about that. We're talking about gratification brought to you, by sex. And so when you take and I agree, we shouldn't be looking at little kids, but there are other cultures in history that did deal with little kids that I'm sure that you all are aware of, right?
I'm not saying that, but it was still pedophilia then, even though if it was
Yes,
cultural.
yes, no, right, okay, yeah. That's just what they call it, right? It's just like that's just what they call it. They call it pedophilia. We have a lot of these affiliates, right?
Being
So,
attracted to children. I don't know what that's called, but
yes, yeah, yeah. Sexually attracted to children is pedophilia. Yeah, it doesn't mean you actually had sex with one. It just means that you are sexually attracted to them, right? So, when we saying that homosexuality or pedophilism or whatever is the case, let's speak to specifically kind of like what we talking about instead of where we come from. If you get what I'm saying, because anybody can say I can say a dude. Let's just
allow me to
let me back.
interject. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yes.
Finish up. Go ahead. Finish up.
No, go ahead.
I was if
Basically,
you
what I'm
notice,
saying. Look,
the floor is yours.
basically, what I'm saying is, let's say there's a brother who has because basically, when we're dealing with sexuality, you could fetishize everything. Anything could be fetishized, right? We agree.
Yeah.
I mean,
We agree,
yeah, if you
huh?
Yeah.
fetishize,
You can have a
yeah,
desire. Yeah.
for the sake of the
Anything.
conversation.
Okay, well, I'm out of it. Because some things I can't speak. If like some things is very hard for me to speak if we can't have a formal, like this can't be from a safer conversation. Like anything could be perceived as a fetish
Yeah.
when you deal with, and I think the problem with that is there's somebody within a discussion or have an understanding that no, this is regular. It's not necessarily a fetish. That's kind of what I was saying. Like I want to get away from that and let's just talk about, instead of talking about what's right or what's wrong.
See, well, I was saying, as I mentioned, when I was talking about whether in prison or the army or the Boy Scouts, it had nothing to do with. I didn't even mention the word really gay. I'm using it as a form of
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I get you.
as a construct of it's an environment that's a construct where I think sexual deviant dominance and control. I don't even have nothing to do with. I mean, but it's consistent. Whether it's fraternity, whether it's again the Catholic Church, is people with power and without power, and I think those are the people creating some of those narratives of black men having to be gay to achieve levels of success. As
Okay.
I couple, as I build a bridge to say, although there are access points where people who do control the resources to that glamour life do have a gay agenda. And so there are some who have walked that bridge to get more access.
Mm-hmm. But Jay, go ahead and finish on your point. You were saying about things being fetishized. Go ahead. Doc, you there?
Jay.
Doc,
Yeah,
you there?
can you hear me?
No, we can hear you now.
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now. I think your signal. I think you're getting like a bad signal or something, maybe.
Yeah.
I think
We was talking, we didn't hear that last little.
Yeah. I was just trying to, because you.
I'm surprised I got a decent signal. I'm so surprised. And
so so for me, by just in the way that I see things. Well, he dropped out. Let me see. I gotta see. Oh, okay. T still T. I ain't no T. He say nothing about himself being back in.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
here.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm sorry, man. How long you been waiting, brother? I didn't know. I wish you would have.
Nah, that's cool. I've been in the stage for about 10 minutes, man. It's no big deal. I'm trying to get to a place where I'm you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I had to take my kids back home.
Gotcha.
10-4, big buddy.
Yeah. But no, Tony, the thing is like with me, when I look at that, I just don't think that that in all cases, or and I don't believe you were saying in all cases. So I'm saying in the vast majority of cases, I don't think that structures where men are alone, or how can I put it? I guess you could say structures, you know what I'm saying, where men are along with boys, that there would be some sexual deviancy to always come about. I just, and I don't think you were saying that, and I'm hoping that not what you were saying.
I'm not saying that. I'll say this. I grew up in foster home. I've been in 5 different foster homes. And I've been in a few group homes, and I've been in juvenile, and I've been involved with the church and the family members. And when they have a sense of control and power, or a sense of perceived power, it is always that access and that hint of males touching males. Absolutely. That's an absolute potential.
And the reason I say that is because no, I'm not pretending that I haven't heard about it or seen it, you know what I'm saying, or been around it, where that has taken place. I'm not saying that because I know that, you know what I'm saying, there is a lot of, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to um, you have a lot of, you know, sickos who look at children in that way. Um, and we'll try to take advantage of children. We've seen it, you know what I'm saying, from men on men to even young women taking advantage of other young women, or I mean older women taking advantage of other young women,
All
or you know, older women taking advantage of young men. We know that there is that power concept there. I will agree with you there,
of that.
but
And
I have. Go ahead.
I think that's the word I'm looking for. I'm looking for that word predatory. And the
Yes, sir.
predator and that predatory aspect of it is again when we link that brothers who have to, especially brothers who ain't even walking that narrative, who just doing what they doing to get their talent and just to reach accomplishment, who can
Yeah.
object to a lot of things that come your way. Those men, I think, so it is I think an accomplishment for people to walk in a certain way without these narratives, because it is predatory on them,
Yeah.
on it's predatory on their families, on their with their names. You know what I'm saying? And that's what probably brought you being offended. Like, damn, you're just gonna speak on him like that, right? It's just like, so it's predatory. It doesn't add. And I think it is that ignorant slip of the mouth to add to shit that people don't even know shit about, which is, I think, is definitely a negative.
I mean, no. I mean, I don't think, you know. Um, you know, either of us, you know, are being, you know, ignorant in any way. I think what we do speak from, and when we're speaking, I believe that we come from, you know, we a lot of us, you know, we will speak from our experience and our understanding, and that is the only place, you know what I'm saying, that if you speak, that will be the primary place that you would speak from, is your understanding and your experience. That, so you, brother, and again, I didn't know that you spent that much time in, you know, in foster homes and different things like that. So yeah, so please pardon me if I, you know, did seem offended by that, because I didn't know your experience. So your experience,
No, no, brother. Everyone's experience is their own, and I'm not
yeah,
saying that all environments are like that. I'm
no, no,
saying that I'm
I
just saying
got
the
you.
evidence. The evidence shows, like, they tell the jokes about it, about uncles who do these things to kids, or just
Yes,
being
sir.
in the like in the church. So I'm saying there's places where um I think certain things, like even in prison, like the Booty Man, they tell all these jokes and shit about
Yeah,
uh men dominating
yeah,
somebody. You know what I'm saying? So these things for some people have been real, but it's like, what is he talking about? It's just like buck breaking at the beginning. What I was saying, it's the stigma of
yes,
being
sir.
associated with, I don't know if it's an act or lifestyle or a
Mhm.
way of being controlled, embarrassed. You know what I'm saying? Like the shit about Meek Mills and P. Diddy. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying? About
yes, sir.
about just about, I don't know, like whether it's, again, but I guess everybody passed out. So it's like a willingly, most people won't do certain shit willingly. That's all.
Yeah.
And so if it's against the will, you know, that these are the things that we talk about. And I think like you say, is a black man's accomplishments falsely associated with this narrative, and
You
it
don't
goes
think
deeper
so?
than that. I think our plight is so unique that it all revolves around us. So yeah, but does it hurt or help their career? Right? Is it? It ain't about whether it's true or false. It's about the myth. It's about the decay, the nonsense. You know, it's not even about, like, again, when he said, I think that about Denzel, and of course we can't picture Denzel as much credibility as he's shown all these years. We can't imagine him. You know,
Right.
you
Yeah.
know, but you can just say anything. So
And so, like I said, brother, I just want wanted to just get back to what I was saying to you.
Okay.
By you speaking from your experience and your understanding. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that you've experienced it yourself. You know what I'm saying? Where it was done, directly to you. No, but your understanding of it is what you've experienced, seen. You know what I'm saying? Heard about, being in close quarters to someone who may have experienced. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. So I didn't mean to come off as being. So where I was seemingly rejecting your notion, because I didn't understand it. So please, that was me speaking out of ignorance there. But I do want to say that I have seen and just going back to my own experience, I have seen areas of life or structures in my life where the men have that didn't come up, that wasn't even thought of. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I was so quick to jump to that. Now, when I was younger, did I hear about some things, experience some things indirectly? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And so that's, so I agree with you there. I can't say even from my experience as an adult that I disagree with you. I just have to say that as young and being a young adult or being around other men, in that aspect, I didn't see that component come up. Well, and if it did come up, I wasn't privy to the information. You get what I'm saying? So that's the only way that I could speak to that. But Doc, you were saying a thing about things being fetishized, right? Can you hear us?
Yes, sir. I'm back. Yeah. No, y'all seem to iron it out. I just was I know I probably seemed like I was all over the place, but
No.
no, it's cool. No, I wanted to iron something out because sometimes we talk about this subject matter not in terms of pedophilism or homosexuality, but sometimes when we talk about sexuality in general, we talk about it from what we all would consider a normal place.
Yes, sir.
And I'm just saying, like, we have to be careful because what is normal as it relates to, sexuality. But we can say what is natural. Like we can say that based off of what is being produced by the actual sexual encounter or whatever. That's what I was saying.
Okay. Yeah, I mean,
but I know Tone was speaking from a place of like power and a place of humiliation and degrading. And I think the one of the powerful things he said was, it doesn't even matter like if it's about homosexuality.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like when you like, buck breaking is a real thing. So clearly it's not solely about this person being sexually aroused by a man. That was almost second in nature. You know what I'm saying? It was more about humiliating him, humbling him, degrading him to make sure that he could become a more docile creature for what maybe we can consider the slave master, if you will.
And now the slave master becomes public opinion, right? So it's like, and it wasn't. And is it the? Well, I want to know, like, what is the value, or the increase, or the payoff for being associated with that agenda for Black men? Like what's the payoff? Like, does it, or what's the take, or what's the loss?
That's a good question. You said something earlier, right? That you talked about our plight and how unique it is, right? So let's say this. Let's break it down like this. All right. So we seen Miss Doubtfire. Was it Robin Williams?
Yep.
Yeah,
Right?
actually, I haven't seen it, but I've seen some of it. I don't. I know what it was about.
You got the gist of it.
Yeah.
Right. So,
father had to dress up as a woman to see his own kid.
His kids, yeah, see his
Right,
children.
which speaks to a different power. And that's a white man. So I'm about that, but we're here. So um what does what do white what we can't speak to a white man's nature. We can't we can speak about suffering from it, that's for sure. But what I'm saying is, why isn't that stigmatized? Why isn't that a deal?
Say it one more time. Why isn't what stigmatized, brother?
So when we see Tyler Perry,
Mm-hmm.
who dresses up as Big Ma, we see
Right.
Martin Lawrence, who dresses up as
Right.
Big Ma, we
Okay.
see Vin Rames, who dresses up, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we see this. We see. I can't name. This is more, we can look them up, but I
Eddie
just
Murphy.
name. No, I'm talking about of white men.
White man. So let's say, like you
Patrick
said,
Swayze.
Patrick Swayze,
yeah,
Patrick,
Robin
Robin
Williams.
Williams.
a lot of them. Tom Hanks. Remember Bosom Buddies? Bosom
What's
Buddies
the
was
man
a.
named Michael, the British actor? He played Michael.
They
God
all
damn.
have. I'm saying that's not
Yeah,
something.
but
That's not.
right.
That's not
But
something. Even my man in Steven Seagal, even when he was in the submarine, they gonna put on a dress. That's a part of. It's a reason. It's a different. I think it's a different
Their
quantification.
masculinity,
well,
but
hold
their
on. Let me finish the point.
go ahead.
Go
Yes,
ahead.
please.
But my point is what y'all about to get into.
Yes, sir.
That's the point. So
Okay.
so when we look at it for black men, this actual subject is not. It's the power behind it, and I think that's what Tone is alluding to. It's the power behind it because they can do it,
Right.
right? They can wear the dresses and put the makeup on, and in their community there isn't an issue with it,
Right.
right? And maybe in their community it's accepted. Maybe in their community it's just art. But one thing that they have in their community is that they are a part of white culture, and that's the dominant culture. They set the rules. That's the dominant culture. So because our plight here and how we choose to deal with our plight, the assault on the black man socioeconomically, the assault on him being a father, the assault on him himself. They got movie. We talked about this last time with the birth of a nation. Of them being a sexual deviant and him being viewed as a predator just because he reached puberty. This is scientific journals.
Yes, sir.
This is how the mind think. When they say what women, they got these wide hips and big buttocks, is because they're prone to be more promiscuous, right? We're not talking about the natures of anything
Right.
per se. We're talking about white perspective,
Yeah.
right? It's accepted here, but for us, it's because we're dealing with racism and white supremacy. It's because we're dealing with that. What I'm saying, that it becomes stigmatized when it comes to black men. Now, it's not stigmatized when it comes to black women being lesbians. No,
Right.
no, it's not. As a matter of fact, but we talked earlier, and we talked about how we have black women that thinks sometimes that black male homosexuality is funny.
Yeah.
Like I hang out with them. I hear this all the time. I hang out with them and talk with them because they funny to me, right?
Yeah.
If we're chastising or criticizing a homosexual man, we're seen as the bad guy, right? This is what we're seen as. So I think it's more of the battle of what black men have to face on a day-to-day basis for me.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? So when somebody asks that question, it's not about the act of whether or not it's homosexuality. It's about the people who are in power.
Mm-hmm.
And we're always going to be fighting that. There ain't nothing we can do. We're gonna fight it alone.
Yeah.
Because if Oprah was a lesbian, it'd just be she was a lesbian. Queen Latifah came out, what what I'm saying, some years ago. Y'all heard anything? Nothing.
Nothing.
Right? You hear nothing, right? You know what I'm saying? So MC Light came out, you know what I'm saying? What you heard about it? You heard nothing.
MC Light came out
Right?
what?
MC Light is bisexual or lesbian.
Really?
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
that's disappointing. But I mean, I knew it, but
Yeah,
didn't
yeah,
want to.
yeah. So I'm sure, we have Stacy Nash. What's her name?
Stacey Dash. Dame
Stacy, is
Dash.
it, no,
Yeah.
no, Niecy. Excuse me.
Niecy. Oh, Niecy Nash. Yeah.
Niecy Nash. She came out. You ain't heard anything about it? No, she got
Who's
the
Niecy
front
Nash?
cover.
Who's Niecy Nash?
She's a damn. We lost Doc. Niecy Nash is the actress, man, that was on Reno 9/11, the black woman on Reno 9/11.
They see
Um,
us or how they see us as I might have to Google her. You know who she is.
I
yeah.
know. I got yeah.
You know exactly who she is. You know what I'm saying? You heard anything publicly? No, you heard anything.
Let the White Howard let him try to live his
Exactly.
own life in
Right,
private.
right, right. Which is I think with the big because it's nothing for a white man to humble a black woman sexually, right? It's nothing. It's second nature. He could do that easily, but to do it to a black man, it says something else, right? And I think that's kind of the real thing,
Right.
right? That's the real thing. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I think it was Hugh Hefner that said something a long time ago about like sleeping with a man. You know what I'm saying? He said something about sleeping with a man, if I'm not mistaken. But it's not even viewed. It's not. That's how you know it's. That's how you know it's from a position of power. Like
Oh,
you got to think.
Richard Pryor spoke about his experience with a man doing one of his comedy skits, and he just
You know what I'm
you
saying?
know, and he's just act. That's what I'm saying. These acts they don't got shit to do with
What the real thing is.
yeah. And why people hide it, or why it's in a closet, or why they feel like it need to be exposed, or why it has to be defended. Like I've been told I was gay so many times. I got 3 hoes in each year, and I've had I've had a very eccentric lifestyle as a young person, and I was an exotic dancer. And this I danced for men and I danced for women.
Who you
Um,
did?
yeah. And when
Man.
I was young, I was in my teenage, and I'm not attracted to men. I was attracted to the money. But to say that it was a lot of powerful people who took advantage of shit to allow some of those doors to open. That's what I'm saying. It's the sleaziness sometimes and the misuse of resources because of people's own lustful desires. And I'm saying, and when you leave,
Right. Yes.
you know what I'm saying, and when you leave, I think especially when it comes to young people, not that okay. I mean, I don't know. I just think it has to do something with consent to me in all situations. And in some situations, consent is the biggest thing that's absent, especially when it comes to children and people in spaces where, like a treaty. It's an understanding between the much powerful force and the smaller force. Hey, we just gonna chill here, all right. And so, the idea is sometimes it's about more control than even sexual preference and shit like that. More
Right.
opportunity.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I was trying to get to when I talked about criminal minds and stuff like that.
Yeah, more opportunistic, and to degrade somebody. You know what I'm saying? Than anything, like I say, and I think that it takes away is to have to rebuild that I'm not gay, or they're not even saying gay is something to be or not. That's what I'm saying. But when you haven't heard too much. I'm not saying it hasn't existed in the Chinese, because what the Japanese did to the Chinese was some horrific shit. Just like with all cultures who had certain types of warfare, and for us being at warfare here with the oppressive class, the shit they did to us was humiliating and degrading. So it's not uncommon that we heap that same shit upon each other.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
No. Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. So do y'all think that in this age of and let's say we take down the whole power um the power dynamic, let's of us needing access and some other people controlling access, um is do we believe that black men can be successful without, and I mean massively and grossly successful without having to venture off into those territories, into those waters, where or is there something else that we can do to where we can ensure our own um, success without having to, you know, deviate or be asked to deviate from our natural walk? What you laughing at, though?
I'm listening to your question, and as I'm listening, I'm internalizing it, and I'm just I'm forming. And as I'm laughing, I'm thinking like that. Do I got permission to speak freely?
Yes,
Shit.
sir. You
Oh,
do.
here you do. Yeah. Say it,
That's
say it
what
like
this
it
is
is.
about, man.
That's what it's about.
The worst thing we could do is be so valuable. They want to examine us. They attracted to us. We their daddy. They love us. They love everything about us. They hate and love everything about us. We they want to see us, touch us, and they want to emulate us. They want to absorb us in every fucking way. And so when it comes to how they, then I mean, yes, we can be, we can be. It'll just have to be us. Like they couldn't be involved because we see each other differently than they see us.
Yeah.
And I think to sexually dominate us is something that they desire, right? So that's kind of they're gonna fuck us whether contractually, whether politically, whether
Yeah.
physically, whether. And so it's like the shit they do. Like I said, I don't know what it is about that the dehumanization of a vessel, because it's traumatizing. I would imagine, you know, and I'm thinking about with like it traumatizes the reputation or people's willingness to it's just it's difficult like you said. Jay said we've been through so much shit that we have to um but I think it's the attraction, the desire, that just everything and every especially the Anglo Euro, they just desire us. They desire us just the way we build, the way we smell, the way we just want it, and so they want to absorb us. And I think that shit is fucking. It's like it's want to touch us.
Yeah.
They want to like, and I think we the food source of this motherfucker. Like we the battery. Like they, it's hard. Like integration is going from the top of ours to the bottom of theirs. It's like I don't know what the fuck it had. Like what
I
we
like that.
there's no benefit to us. You know what I'm saying? There's no benefit to us. Like we're benefit to them. Like I'm saying, like that's historically and right to this moment. They're gonna make a motherfucking. So I don't know. I don't. And well, all we can do is not be so fucking appealing. I would imagine. I mean, what the fuck? Every contract made musically, and just everything, man. So I don't know. And so when this agenda to, because we don't on our own, we don't we express and create differently, and it's
Yeah.
not down at some certain unnatural veins. And so that's all I can say about that. But I think we like when they take us to like when they take people to jail, they want to see you naked and examine you. They want to put their device. They want to study. They want to man, like almost like motherfucking X Man. They want to see us, man. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, I'm on a rant, but it's like I don't know what everything we just too valuable. That's all I can say, and that's the hard part.
I think what.
Um,
Go ahead,
Go
brother.
ahead. No, please go.
Okay. I think what it is, man, and I harken back to something Jay had said to me a while ago. We were talking about football and how I came to understand football. How I had never really um, been coached to the levels of understanding football, and I got my understanding of football by just studying, being around it, um, and wanting to know more and more about football. I had never been coached to play linebacker. I was in high school. I played corner. Well, I never really was coached there. I was told to do something, and and I found a way to do it. You know what I'm saying? Even the technique, I found it. You know what I'm saying? And Jay had said something to me. He said, "Man, he said limitations breed genius." And I think that um, what it is about us, they expect those things to come out of us because of our limited resources, because of the way that we can adapt. You know what I mean? I mean, like, just think about some of the stuff that we do in our own homes. You know what I'm saying? Some of the stuff that we do in our own to get things to work around our houses for our wives, to make sure that she gets something done easier. We will come up and we will put together, you know, Jimmy rig some things together that will work perfectly, better than something that was manufactured, at a factory, because we have to see how to get things done. It's the way that we would put our take care of our families, systems and things that we would put in place to make sure that we our day to day goes so well at home, or from home to work, then to back home, that we'll put these things together, this system together so well, because we don't have those resources, like nannies or different things like that. I don't want to call nannies a resource, but it is. It's something that people have, that people can use. But having nannies or that familial support, where you can say, all right, here, take my child and keep my baby for me, or you know what I'm saying. So we have those things. We don't have those things, so we come up with ways that we can operate. And so it is with movies. So it is with music. We come up with ways to be masterful in those areas, man. So I think that if we can just think beyond the the getting into an industry point, if we can get beyond that mindset, that thought, and think about building our own industries. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying we can't use those things, because we can use those industries. We could use that industry, and we can study it and even model it, but we can also add our own moral and value and standards to it. You know what I'm saying? Without it being something that is so egregious to someone who is trying to seek success, and and then they gotta do some foul shit. You know what I'm saying? Just to
Mhm.
try to get that place. So I think that's the thing. I think we have that, like you said, that thing that they want to see, but we just haven't taken that thing that they want to see and said, hey, y'all, guess what? We can do that thing that they want to see. We could do it ourselves. You know what I'm saying? And we could, yeah, let's get there, but let's be the spook that sat by the door in that industry and bring it. You know what I'm saying? Without trying to use all the fuckery, because that's what happens. We get, I just say it like this: niggas gonna nigga. You know what I'm saying? And most time when the nigga is nigging, he's nigging like a white man. You know
I
what I'm
think
saying?
that I think that can't be overstated enough, because it's
What's
not just that is where we are. Like when listen, when I think it was Imam Jamil Abdul Alameen, who's known to us by H. Rap Brown. He said racism exerts itself when you have to do the same thing in order
yes,
to rid yourself from it.
yes, sir.
So you know what I'm saying? So when we think about success, we've been so acculturated that we have adopted um, uh, a different culture's perspective of what success is,
Yes, sir.
right? So what good is this spook that sat by the door if he- he's just an undercover brother? Like he ain't, you know what I'm saying? Like he ain't a spook. He's nothing to be afraid of. You understand what I'm saying? Because he's going to do the same thing to his own, right? So you take these like just stories of we listen to. I wasn't there, so I don't like really speaking on it like that. But let's
Hmm.
just talk about Bad Boy Records, right?
Right.
So we have Bad Boy Entertainment. We have somebody who has their own record label. He's into now. He have those artists talking about being, effed out of their masters or being, not having these good deals. We talk about the same thing. I know, uh, 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 your Young Guns. One of them was kind of messed out of some money, by Jay, and with Jay's biggest. What's Jay's biggest song? I'm a hustler, baby. What is that?
For real.
What's the name of that song?
Give it to me.
Yes, yeah. So he came up with
Yeah.
the B hook or whatever to it, and Jay told him like, well, just make sure you get your publishing right, and then got his publishing right, and then it was nothing. So what good is it to have a community of people who worked hard enough to become record labels and to be able to produce these levels of art if they're going to be treated the same way as white people? Because it seems that what we can define as success is not necessarily healthy for us.
Yeah.
Because what if the culture is to make it? What if the culture is to make it and then beat on everybody else like you got beat on?
Oh, that's well, people
So the
emulate.
question, the question is simple: is when are we going to adopt an ideology of what blackness is? What is it? What defines it? How do we benefit from it? How do we capitalize on it? How do we teach it? How do we live off of it?
I
How
think
do we,
one of
you
the,
know what I'm saying? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
don't be sorry, no. Like, I think one of the core, what tribalism, whether you're indigenous to this land or on the continent, tribal living is a way of life for a community. And the way that
Yeah.
we exist in this linear ass structure is far from it. And so how
Right.
we
Mhm.
interact, how we interface with the rules and food and philosophies is it really given to us as much as black is. It's like, and so like you say, to come with our own something that's completely apart from what we've been conditioned to have. But again, and even to take, and that's one of the most challenging things I think, with these concepts, because even in order to, when you take something from well, when someone's ready to release a way of thinking, have something to offer them, right?
Yeah.
Or have something that's parallel to it. So yeah, we can do it. And I think this platform is a way of proving that. It's interdependent of um, some of these, like what you have to do to get this platform, to get this, what you have to do to, what I'm saying, get to be successful, brother. You didn't have to do, you wasn't swayed, right? Right? The people approaching, what I'm saying, like, so it's like when we start achieving, can that be placed on common people that we know beyond, what I'm saying? Like what did he do to get on? And I'm gonna ask you a question, Jay. You on here, Jay?
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question. Brother. Mar.
Yes, sir.
Have you? And I'm gonna ask it very broad and general.
Okay.
Growing up as a teenager, your young 20s, whatever, has there ever been like it ain't ever been they say, would you rather, or you had to choose or some scenario where it's some kind of monetary prize or doing
Yeah.
something gay?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Yes. By our own. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's
Yes.
like it's always it's ever present. Like, man,
I
would
think my
you
brain
would
just
you?
jolted. What you say? My stupidity
It's
wouldn't allow
almost
me.
like, man, would you suck a dick for $50 million, man? You just make
Right.
you
Okay. That's
for $500 million, man. You telling me you wouldn't do that for like people trying to make sense of it. We try to rationalize it or make these speculations but it's like something about that something about some financial. You got to be so much money, and then it's certain acts that you wouldn't normally ever do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying.
No, like it's like talk about it at the when we at the job, motherfucker talk about, man, would you wear a dress for this much money? You know what I'm saying? In the movie, you know what I'm saying? And the dude's like, shit, I put it on for 500 grand. You know what I'm saying? Just give me a million, I put it on. And they look at me. I guess people would be thinking like I'm lying when I say,
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I know where you're going.
you know what I'm saying? Like when I say, no, you can't pay. It ain't an amount of money. You know what I'm saying? Man, but you'll be able to feed your kid. I can feed my kids now. You know what I'm saying? I'm feeding them now. I'm doing okay feeding them now. You know what I'm saying? But nah, man, it's I don't understand, why that's even why
I
we
think
even think like that, man. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I think it's because we've been acculturated. Like
you
that's
know,
what Tone is. I think that's what he's saying. Like, why are we saying that?
yeah,
I don't. It's not coming from nowhere. Like
money.
it's a mentality. It's
Yes,
not
sir.
like he just said something that was dope as hell to me. He said, "What you say, Tone? Like we integrated. Their worst became our best. Right there.
Yeah, like you said,
That's the source of our problems. Not knowing who we are. So when it's like okay, integration is like oh we can rub shoulders with white people. We're somebody now.
right.
That's a lot of shit to deal with. That
Yeah,
you
no,
I'm not disrespecting it because I didn't grow up in the Jim Crow South. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand the psychological ramifications of growing up in Jim Crow South. This ain't me making light of it. I'm just saying that's kind of what it is.
but we
You
see the
know,
result. We see
we,
the result of
yeah.
it. You know what I'm saying? We're actually the spawn of that result. You know what I'm
You know
saying?
what I'm saying? So it's like now we're somebody.
Right,
You understand what I'm saying? And so what is success to that person who has just became somebody? Is
right,
everything that the people in a dominant structure views or idealizes as beautiful, as successful, whatever it is. That's what we do. We might put our own touch on it. I might put our own spin on it, right? And I think that's like your argument. A lot of times when we talk about racism and white supremacy between you and I, Disa,
hmm
like it's that like we can do our own. We can do our own. Man,
yeah.
ain't no doing our own if we don't change our mentality. The
And
mentality
no,
must change
the
first. I'm
mentality.
not arguing that. No, I'm not arguing that that's your point. I'm
No,
just
no,
saying
no.
to the
I agree.
discussion that we have.
Yes, sir.
Mentality has the consciousness has to, you know what I'm saying? Like when the scripture was talking about, and God said, and let there be light. Well, he had to have a knowledge or command of language, you know what I'm saying? Like in order for it to come into fruition, right? He had to know those words. So I'm saying we have to know that's people always think I'm saying you got to read some Ivor Van Sertima book, got to read The Wretched of the Earth, got to read the autobiography of Malcolm X, The Testament of Hope. I'm not saying that shit. I'm saying who the fuck are you? And what does that and what does that mean? Somebody tell you, like I read in the book somewhere, it was like they're having a culture day and everybody had to bring their own food, um, their own food from their culture. And you got black people bringing fucking Big Macs and shit.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Like that's just not they don't mean nothing by it, but they're disconnected.
They're
And every
disconnected.
time I bring up something like, no, we need to learn who we are. It's like in order to get this done, Jay, we got to do a book report on Richard Wright. Nigga, that's not what I'm talking about.
Right.
Of course, that's not what I'm saying. Of course, they're not. But what value system do we have? What
No.
is success? And that's why what Tone is saying about that tribal living, like they don't or ethnicity. The new word is ethnic or whatever. Like just because we're in the same grouping that white people gave us, doesn't mean that we're all homogenized. It doesn't mean that, right? You have your own thing, I have my own thing,
Right.
and we can have similar principles. But how they over there dealing in Deceville, right?
Right.
The Deceville, you know what I'm saying? When I walk over there, I must bring this woman a flower and speak. You understand what I'm saying? And when we go over to Toneville, it's like we take our shoes off before we enter the hut. this, that, and the third. And when we come to Jayville, something else. You understand what I'm saying? And develop our own concepts of who we are as a people, our own rules, our own sense of value, our own sense of education, right? But in order to even get to that, that has to be a consciousness even within itself. So when the Honorable Elijah Muhammad was saying, let's separate from them, that's from my perspective, because I'm not here to disrespect anybody else that studies his work. That's from my perspective of what I got from it. It was like, listen, we have to have our own.
No,
You understand what I'm saying? We have to have, like, we get like somebody, we got the NAACP awards coming out. We got all these different awards because we wanted to give, awards to Black people, right? But we giving Dwayne Wade an award for acknowledging and accepting that his son wants to be a girl.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Okay, so okay, why in the fuck should that be awarded or rewarded? No, because what the fuck are we doing? So we're just saying, like, we're gonna create our own award show. Yay!
Right.
Guess what though? So when you build the stage, when you build the platform, when you build the audience, when you build the award, when you build the criteria, it's easy to do.
Yeah, but see, and you're right, because the thing is, all we're doing is we just showing that we're good lapdogs. When we do shit like that, even at our own shit, we're showing we're good lapdogs to white people. You know what I'm saying? We're showing that we're good lapdogs to the dominant society or the dominant culture or the culture that's dominating us. You know what I mean? So if you give Dwayne Wade this reward, you know what I'm saying? It's like, Dwayne, here's your reward. That good, boss? And you winking and giving them the thumbs up. You know what I'm saying? Some shit like that, man. And that's like the wackest shit, I ever seen. And then it's like, even when we get to our own awards, we still, like, I mean that is our award, but even when we get to the ones that's supposed to be non-conforming, right? We still show how a nigga hate nigga. When we go back to like the Source Awards, you know what I'm saying, and different stuff like that. That was still, what I'm saying, us, looking at each other or behaving towards each other the way that, you know what I'm saying, that we felt that, or we internalized how Master would act with us, how Master would act with these niggas that he hate.
We did. Yeah, we did. Like, and it's a form of, and I can give you the example, right? If we look at hip hop, we could say that hip hop. We know hip hop is a culture. It comes with its own language and the things that we need to, right? Now, what we did with, what was done with Outkast when they won their award, when they started booing and this, that, and the third, and blah 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 blah, because they didn't understand the South.
Right.
They didn't understand it, so we shunned it. And it's the same thing. Now here's a culture that comes from nothing, that comes from the ashes of the ghettos of the Bronx, right? That literally affects the world, right?
Mm-hmm.
It comes out of the Bronx because they were ignored and taken advantage of by the politicians, by white people.
Right.
It comes to fruition, and then we in turn understand that there's different styles that's coming up, that there's different ways of doing stuff, different ways of scratching, different ways of like mixing or whatever it was that was happening during the day, and we turn around and do the same thing to what was happening in the South. Well, what made the music or what made the culture different was the way we went about ascertaining the musical part of it. That's what made it different in itself. I remember having crazy conversations with my dad, and he'd be like, "You just come up with your own shit. Like, that's James Brown." I'm like, I bet James Brown can't do that. Like, he can't do what he just did with it. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's an example of it to me, though.
But no, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry, brother.
No. I was just saying, when, just going back to what you said, your father said, like, that's James Brown. You say James Brown, I bet James Brown can't do that. But that's them not understanding. Or, in fact, it was James Brown having an understanding because he had to release the rights to the sample, right?
Mhm.
He had to release it, but he had James Brown had the foresight to see that is that repetition. Every time something go wrong, we add. That's where the black individuality would come from, because I'm taking what you're doing and I'm adding my go to it. You know what I'm saying? My voice to it. So James Brown was able to see that. A lot of our parents, they didn't understand that because they
No,
didn't.
no. If I must interject, James Brown was forced to comply with it. Okay,
Was
like
he?
yeah, we were taking this shit. Sorry.
He said we was taking this shit. Sorry.
In the beginning, it wasn't love, bro.
No. I get no. Of course not. Not no. I'm
Yeah.
not saying. I'm not saying he accepted it right away. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying
Okay.
he came to understand that wait a minute,
Yeah.
this kid's voices, but they're standing on my shoulders in this process. Is all I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? So no, that I think that is real, man. And so let me so let's pinpoint the argument. Tone, are you up on pinpoint the topic, right? Are you up on like what's been going on with Shannon Sharp?
I've heard some shots being taken at him.
Okay, yeah.
But I think it was my man, comedian Mike Epps started it, I guess. Due to
Well, no,
the
no.
Mike.
Actually, what happened is you have a dude that's like my man Corey Holcomb, right?
Oh, Corey,
Yeah,
51
Corey
Brooklyn.
Holcomb.
He raw.
Yeah. But Corey Holcomb always, had taken shots at Shannon, calling him gay because he was on there with Skip. Then when he got out there with went out there with his stylist or whatnot. I'm sorry. When he
Was
went out
Skip?
there,
Okay.
yeah,
Not
yeah,
the
no,
same.
when he was on there with Skip, he was saying that, oh man, you can't get fucked in the booty by, he called, say he getting hit in the booty by Skip. Then when Shannon left Skip, and they were left Fox, and him and right before Shannon left, him and Skip had that big spat, and in that big spat, what I'm saying, it was kind of like Shannon lost his cool or whatnot. Then he wound up over at ESPN, and he had a stylist. Now the stylist,
Oh,
the gay stylist that he's sitting with at the games and stuff. So people been hitting him up, calling him Medea, calling him Netta, doing all type of shit. They just was they lambasting brother, man. They just landed on him, right? And I saw something that was very peculiar yesterday. And I guess she's R. Kelly's wife, Tasha K. R. Kelly's ex-wife, Tasha K. And Comedy Hype had this interview with the sister, right? Where this sister literally for like 6 minutes or so went in on Shannon Sharp. You know what I'm saying? And it was to me like one of the most degrading things I could ever experience.
went in on him like
Mhm.
with true stories or just her speculations.
Just her opinion. This was
Okay.
all her fucking opinion.
Oh.
This had nothing that was true or substantiated. At any claim she made was substantiated.
Mm.
No claim she made was substantiated, but I should say. And at any point, did she offer any validation, any proofs, anything like that? So I'm looking at this, man, and I'm like, damn. After this brother had one interview with Cat Williams, who said all the shit. Cat said all the shit. They come at this brother, right? Everybody, they start coming at this brother. But the sister said something on there that stood out to me. She said, why is it that you feel the need to defend your sexuality if you ain't gay? If people call me a lesbian all the time, I'm not trying to fight it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, you have to look at this shit, man. And when I'm listening to this, I'm like, no, see, that's the bullshit that you get. That like what Doc was saying about, you know, black women thinking gay men are funny. You know what I'm saying? But then at one point they use them as support system, or they would support them being gay. You know what I'm saying? Or they use them as shoulders to cry on. You know what I'm saying? But they'll say behind their back, "Oh, girl, he got more bitch in him than any of us." You know what I'm saying? You know, they'll use all that. They'll do all those different things. And so I was looking at them and I said, "God damn, this is something that I see as a rising issue. It's not even a rising issue. It's been the issue, but now it is peaking, in my opinion, with the assault on the black man's masculinity from our own women, from our own community, when we reach a certain height or we don't act a certain way." So, I mean, if y'all, care to elaborate on that, I'm listening.
Go ahead, T.
It's like if you think about most media and advertising come from like Silicon Valley,
Okay.
like over in Cali, like most of the tech industry, like it's a lot of media that shapes that we probably allude to. But then you think about a lot of people who have gotten success. Like think about the comedians. I was thinking about the comedians like Cat Williams, like Kevin Hart, like Eddie Murphy, like Martin Lawrence. These are small men. They're not big men. Like it seems like a lot of our images that it's like our images are controlled. I think Charles Barkley wrote a book back in the days called "Who's Afraid of a Large Black Man," and it came to find out that everybody is, like even other black men, right?
Yes,
And so it's just a narrative of us always having to have ideal of jovialism or having to be smiley or docile, like Shaq. Like, don't nobody want to see Shaq with no attitude, big as that man is. You know what I'm saying? So it's like in the same sense, to bitchify us would make them feel more comfortable.
Yes.
To make us it's like once you take a lion and shave his mane and tie some pillows to his feet, and you know what I'm saying, and it's like you take away his ability to be effective as what his intent to be. And so I think again that's what that's I think it's a secret kind of. I think it's an agenda on some level, but I think it's like are we just policing ourselves now? But don't, and saying that though, I don't know why, and I could be wrong. It could be just like getting in the water at night. You think you're gonna see Jaws and shit. That dun 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 type shit. You just in the water. I'm gonna say it publicly. I still think perhaps getting fucked in the ass would be one of the worst things that could happen to me, right? And I know there's a lot of things that could happen. So in my mind, it's still that fear, right? That I don't want this. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I'm talking about I fall off a building. I do a lot of shit, but this I don't want to take place. So I'm still in bondage of that concept. I need to be liberated.
Doc, what you got, brother?
Hold on. Reinstate the question again. I'm gonna be clear. I speak to it a little differently.
Well, I started off, pointing out, that just speaking about how the sister Tasha K went in on Shannon Sharp, how there was this whole interview that Comedy Hype produced, where the sister basically eviscerated, went in at Shannon Sharp, man, and lambasted him, and destroy, offer her opinion, nothing substantial. And so she then at one point, like I said, goes in to say, why does he feel he needs to defend his. We lost the brother again. I don't know what happened. No, brother system. I don't
Thanks,
know.
right back on. And I appreciate you inviting me on the platform.
Man, come on, man. We always had to have you on here, man. Hey, at least, I think.
I think it definitely it's a diverse um diverse content and pools of experiences to draw from and perspective too.
The one thing, that I do try to do when we having these conversations, man, is I don't want to do a lot of talking. You know what I mean? I like to get thoughts because I don't want to say I feel. I know what I think, or I respect you guys' thinking process is so much that the perspective is so unique, um, that I think it is something that could be studied and learned from by many people. So when I put this platform, together like this, um, and it's not getting the views on the live that I would like for us to have, but um, and I partly know why it doesn't get the views that you know, and it's almost a triple fold triple. It's almost triple fold reasoning, um, but it doesn't it doesn't get the views that I would like it to get. But I do know that if what I'm saying, we keep working at it, and we all keep working together. Um, we all keep working together. Doc, you there?
Yeah, you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Just let me
Oh,
finish this
okay.
point to two. But yeah, but yeah. So the thing is, I think that if we continue working together, man, this could be something that we could build on and get a lot of people's attention because of the uniqueness of, I would say, ours, but of you guys' perspective. You know what I'm saying? The vision, the information or the knowledge that you guys share, um, to me um, is so different, in and of itself, that 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 one day is going to catch on and catch a fire. You know what I mean? So that's why I do it. That's
I
why.
do it. That's why.
What is that?
What is that?
But
Sorry.
that no, you're good. You're good, brother. But that's that's why I try to come with the type of topics that I do, because I know that in this process, the brain that you guys brains is gonna get the firing off these amazing thoughts. But but like I was saying, the sister had just simply eviscerated Shannon with her opinion about him being gay. And she said, well, I don't think Shannon's taking dick in the ass, but I do think he's fucking somebody in the ass, is how is one of the points she made. And all of this had come off of this brother, um this brother talking about, you know, um, I mean, this brother is having this interview with Cat Williams. You know what I'm saying? And then people seeing the video of him getting out of a truck, going to do some wine selling or something at this place, at some place that had bought his wine and stuff. And so it wasn't. It's not a wine that he has a cognac. They bought his cognac and stuff. So I just was saying, brother, what do you think it is where people would just want to simply sit down and shred a brother in this manner over this period of time. When was that interview? Like the end of January, and this shit has been going on for like 6 or 7 weeks. They have been just trying to find the reasons to fry this brother.
I don't know, man. Like, do we think it's like what Big said, more money, more problems in terms of more success, like what you was talking about? I don't know. You know, I think most of the issues that I think plague our community stems from a lack of knowledge of who we are.
Yes, sir.
And a lack, and to disrespect that is to ignore what I think the source of our issues are. You know what I'm saying? That's all. I don't know why her words should be even looked at as gospel with no evidence or with no. If you're saying like it was just her words,
Yeah.
I don't know why. But what we do know is that is a very humiliating thing, as it relates to other black males. Like,
Yes.
black women don't really view it as the way I understand it or see it. I don't think black women view black homosexuality as, they don't stigmatize it. Like, it's not a thing, but for me, anything that is, and I think I can speak for the guys that's here today. Like, if it's not masculine, we don't want to deal with it.
Right.
Down to not taking care of your children or your household, to taking a dick in the ass. You know what I mean? And so, since that is our reality, that's just something that could be used against us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You don't need, like Tone, like he said, it's this, just a rumor in itself is enough. You know what I'm saying?
It ain't even going to prison. Prison ain't even where people give a fuck. Like, all right, I can do this. It's something that potentially is one
Yeah.
motherfucking act inside of the walls that people have heard stories about. It ain't even this time. It ain't even all that other shit. It's that myth and the reality for the number of people that can happen. So I don't know. It still go back to that the force and the control and the power that come with that shit. And I think we just copycatting, but we can't overcome that shit by, I mean, only in environments that we can. And you're right. I've been in so many, and I've been in a number of environments, like you said, we don't even consider taking advantage of the powerless, right? Like, that's not what we do. It's not.
It's it seems to me, man, that there's so much um, so much disdain. I want to say culturally for black men. Not and I don't want to even use society at large, because we know where it exists there. I don't even want to say globally, because we know where it exists there. There's such a disdain for black men culturally. That whenever there's a move or sound made, a righteous sound or righteous move, or what we would deem righteous or powerful, or something that is uplifting or to be celebrated, that there always has to be this air of hate, this air of dissension, where we have to speak down. We have to demonize a brother. We have to call him toxic. We have to call him gay. We have to find all these negative adjectives, to describe this brother. Whatever brother it is that does something, like I said, like I was telling the sister earlier, she was like, I don't hear a lot of stuff about, black men being gay that's successful. And I said, you paid attention to what they said about Michael Jackson, what they said about Prince, what they threw at Magic Johnson when he got sick, but they've thrown at Isaiah Thomas. You know what I'm saying? You know, those things like that. You know, whoever, you know,
What
the
about
dumb
Luther and Teddy?
who?
Luther and Teddy.
Well, I mean, yeah, yeah. I mean, well, I think we come to know that Luther
Excuse me.
was bless you, brother. That Luther was homosexual. You know what I'm saying? But but here's the thing: they delighted in Luther. They delighted in Luther. You know, when if you watch a documentary about Teddy Pendergrass. So many motherfuckers hated Teddy Pendergrass until he had the accident and he was found, you know, with the transsexual in the car. Then he became, you know, it was almost like he became a beloved survivor. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing. It's like if we, you know, acquiesce, you know, to their suggestions, or they find that we are what they, you know, where we could be looked at as some form of weakened masculinity or watered down masculinity, then we're okay. You see what I'm saying? They delight, you know, in Luther. You know, even now, I don't give a fuck what nobody say. Niggas still hate Martin Luther King because Martin Luther King had extra hoes. Excuse my language. But Martin Luther King got,
You think
you
they
know,
hate Martin Luther King?
oh man. I'm not talking about society at large. I'm saying culturally, our people can't stand Martin Luther King, man.
Now you
Listen to
on
me.
your own. I do not believe that. You on your
Well,
own,
listen.
bro.
Well, I don't want to say all of our people, but there's a segment there because I hear them talk. That's the thing that they talk about
Yeah,
is
I think we got to be careful because there's a way of humanizing people. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's the way that they humanize him by saying he had extramarital affairs, you know, this, that, and the third. There's a way
but
of
it also
humanizing him, but
but it also, you know, is, you know, and maybe y'all may disagree, but it also is used to lessen his effect, to lessen his reach, his how, you know, how great he actually was. It is used to diminish that. Um, Now, here's another thing that they've done. Um, I think it's Manny Marable, and I think wrote about it in in his book on Malcolm X. And then you have Mark Lamont Hill who come out and try to say, well, Malcolm X was gay. You know what I'm saying? And so you
Martin
had,
Lamont, when did he Martin Lamont Hill said Malcolm X was gay?
yeah,
What
he
did he
come out.
say that he
He had
said?
like sexual, like gay, like basically gay experiences. I would say that. You know what I'm saying? So hinting at the possibility of Malcolm X being
He's
gay or bisexual.
he said that in an interview or
Yeah, yeah. It is something that Mark Lamont Hill actually had put out. This was years. I want to say right before or right after Manning Marable's death. You know what I'm saying? Mark Lamont Hill came out, you know, and tried to make that a topic. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think, you know, um, a lot of people didn't, you know, didn't take that bait. You know what I mean? So just
well, it's a lot of we got to understand this agendas too. Like, you
yes,
know,
sir.
he can't answer a question. You know, like can men have babies? He said some can. So we got
Yeah.
we got to understand that there's a lot of
I need to look that shit up. You said that. You're right. I was just about to look it up. You know what I'm saying? That's right. He did say some dumb shit like that.
you know yeah. I I think it's just that's a way to one of the I guess deepest ways to emasculate a man. You know,
Yes, sir.
a black man is to deal with his sexuality. You know, and either accuse him of being homosexual or you know being homosexual.
Yeah.
It's a really tough topic to discuss because, like I just said, like I despise homosexuality.
Okay.
I don't despise homosexuals,
Right.
right?
Yes, sir. I
It's the
agree.
two.
Agree.
It's a different thing.
Yeah.
Um, you know, um, but to me, it's a because it can't just be left there. It's a knock at. I can't say it's a knock at masculinity. I think if you are engaging in homosexuality, I've said this before, you can't be masculine. So, that's just my personal perspective. I'm open up to attack. I'm ready. I got my father's sword. So, um, anybody can question me on that, and I could definitely properly defend myself on that. But I just think when you're dealing with homosexual, anything that's homosexual
Is masculine and is masculine and feminine gender based, or is it an energy?
I don't, I ain't an energy. I hate, I almost despise them energy people too. Um, so uh, it's it's gender based. Yeah, it's gender based.
So masculinity is estrogen and testosterone gender based.
No, they're just chemicals.
Just chemicals.
And I don't necessarily subscribe to a concept where somebody is going to say if you have this level of this, that makes you sexually attracted to. Because if we can't, I'm fine with it, but you will have to apply what level of testosterone or estrogen do we have to be sexually aroused by sweat? Because you can look it up. There's sexual people who are
Yeah.
sexually aroused by sweat.
Yeah.
So, that's nonsensical. Like I'm not even, unless you have unless you have some evidence that would suggest that this level of testosterone and estrogen allows me to be able to find a screwdriver sexually appealing, right? And somebody might say, well, Jay, your examples are nonsensical and juvenile. Exactly. Because this whole shit is juvenile. The whole thing is, if we're talking about um, levels and chemicals that make us, find this group of people sexually arousing. So, because we're not even talking about sex at the point. That's what people, a lot of times things go around. I'm talking about sex. I'm talking about the attraction. You are sexually attracted to. You know what I'm saying? Sort of in the same way you see some male porn star performers. They say, well, the money is good, right? It's not, I'm not gay.
Well,
Hmm.
it's got to be a workable definition.
For what?
Whatever they define it as. I guess gay is a definition that they identify as this. So I guess it comes with a certain when something is identified. I guess you gotta attribute it with something that's kind of universal to that identity. Like most plumbers work with pipes and shit. Most firemen carry hoses and put out fires. So if you say somebody say they gay, it had like can I? Oh, I guess you can be gay and never sleep with a man, right?
Exactly. Right. So we're talking exactly. You're talking about what that attraction is. So, which is another conversation we could have, but that's the whole transgender thing. They will say, well, this is a social construct. Well, of course, it's a social construct. Of course, it is. Right? The word air is a social construct, but we're dealing with something that's in actuality, right? So that's the bit. That's the debate. Is this an actual thing? They're saying that this thing is made up by the structure in people in society, but we're not talking about where we get these definitions from. Observation, observing males and females. That's where you get it from. That's what it is. It's based off of biology. You know what I'm saying? In other words, like Jordan Peterson said, he's like, all right, if you get a plumber, like you said, if you get a plumber to come to your house, 95% of the time it's going to be it's going to be a man. It's going to be a male, I would say. It's going to be a male because males tend to work with things. So we have to. It's important to define things, but it's also important to examine the process and the methodology in which we use to define things. If not, then it's just anarchy. You know what I'm saying? It's just anarchy. So when we talk about masculinity, you know, we talked about that what a month ago, right? Maybe a month and a half ago, right? And basically, it's just the ways of a man. You know, it's just the ways of a man. You know, in his nature, and we can't just say nature is just this thing that's there. You know, it's a reason that the leaves are there. They have a function. You know, it's not just there for no reason.
Yes, sir.
Right? It's a reason that the woman has a womb. It's just not a part of her body for no fucking reason, right? It's not there. So there's a reason. It's a natural thing that we have to go by. And then there's an argument that can say, hey, well, being sexually stimulating is natural too. Yeah, of course it is. Of course it is. But where is this energy, we say, directed at in nature? You know what I'm saying? Where is it directed at? Where should it be aimed or directed at according to nature? A fucking bedpost? Like, well, what do you get out of that? We should be able to name something that is produced by it, right? Somebody runs across water. You know what I'm saying? Like, instinctively, you know to drink the water. Instinctively, you know if you throw a baby in water, it holds its breath. Why? You think it holds its breath for no reason? Because it innately understands it cannot breathe this. So they don't breathe it. They hold their breath. You throw a baby in water. So sometimes we play around with things and it's very frustrating. Sometimes we play around with things when all we have to do is just sit and look at like what's right in front of us. You know, and so we could do that and not stigmatize things. We could do that and not try to bash people, if you will. But I do believe in criticism and critique. This is what it is. That's not what you say it is. I like that. You know, I like that. So I'm not here to say that having sexual relations, a man having sexual relations with a man is weird. That ain't what I'm saying. I'm saying it's unnatural.
It's unnatural. I'm saying it's all that shit.
Yeah, I know you saying it, but I don't want to go against what I said earlier. Like maybe that's your thing. You know what I mean? But that's not natural. You know, to see a 3-month-old and try to put your penis in it, that ain't what the natural order of things. You know what I'm saying? You can hammer a screw in if you want. That's cool. It could work. And you can use a wrench as a hammer if you need to. It doesn't mean it's a hammer. You know, so you know what I'm saying. But I've said all that to say, I think homosexuality as it relates to black men is one of the. It is. That's not what we deal with. That ain't what we dealing with. We don't play that. You know, we look down on that as a community of people. We look down on it, which is why it's used the way which is why it's weaponized.
It's weaponized.
Yeah. Which is why it's weaponized. You know, so that's the thing. Like someone said, like I can fall off a building, then to that happen.
Right.
So you know what I'm saying? Like we could lose our lives, but to say that part, and then that's why it's able to be weaponized.
Yes, sir.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Give me 1 second, brothers. I'm just trying to. I just emailed this article. I want to send it to you. Come on, man. Where the fuck is it? I want to send it to. I'm gonna put it in this.
Chat.
Yeah, I'm gonna put it in the chat. Yeah. Thank you, man. My brain starting. Yeah.
I get a certain age. My energy is different. Yeah.
But okay, I think it just made it to the.
Yeah. I just don't know. That's like I don't know why I just think, especially the weaponization of sodomy. Like you know what I'm saying.
Mm.
It's like that's the. I think that's the. So like that. I don't know. I think then that's definitely I think an oppressive tactic. Like again, we talked about, but again, it's still like even there was this thing like I saw it was like real quick. It was this little TikTok video, and I guess these guys it was a comedy skit or whatever. But and these guys, I guess had they came into a place and basically they thought everybody was dead, and it's like make sure everybody dead. Then all you heard was, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And so I guess they was clapping cheeks to the people who was unconscious to see if they was dead or not. You know what I'm saying?
Mash.
Mm.
Yeah, they was like, and I guess like that's their way of like you couldn't just kick them or something. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Just other ways to to check if somebody dead. But it was just so accepted. Like let's just and let's you grab him like and it's just and then I guess if they don't wake up and make a move, they're really dead. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's really the depravity that come with it. Maybe it's an act that two people who same sex enjoy and love each other, but it's definitely been weaponized. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck. It has been.
Hmm. Okay, what's
Don't you
going
know
on?
my nigga gutter fucking kidnap kids, fuck them in their ass, throw them over the
Under the
bridge.
I
bridge.
hate that fucking line, man.
And
I
I was
hate it.
thinking, I was thinking like because they know it's a psychological. It is like almost in the same vein of the making of a slave. That shit is yeah, I can see it I can see it being like I say traumatic, especially if it's unwanted. I think that's one of the biggest parts, and if it's you know
Yeah, that's a yeah, I understand. That's a that's period. Like,
that's a forceful
like
act. First of all, it's
that's
a
a
waste
force. Yeah,
deposit. It's a waste
that's
deposit, and it's tight. It's supposed to be your asshole supposed to be tight. Hey, here you go. Hey, let me throw it. I will throw a story about Kurt out here. True story, but the asshole supposed to be tight, y'all. Period, point blank. I don't know no other way about it. It's a compactor for waste. It's supposed to deposit shit literally and figuratively. And so anytime somebody going up in there, that shit's very intentional. You know what I'm saying? And, yeah, it's very intentional. You can't make no mistakes. And that's why I think somebody deliberate is making a conscious effort to do that shit. No way. No, and that's that story about no Vaseline. Like he said, nigga, like even that. And nigga, I'm doing this shit with no Vaseline. You know, that's the ultimate ouch. You know what I'm saying? The Ice
Mm-hmm.
Cube.
yeah.
And the whole diss is about them fucking each other, right? And
Yeah,
MC's dick is smelling like MC's red and shit.
yeah.
Could have told you a year ago. Willie D told me to let a hoe be a hoe.
Oh, all right.
It's all about their masculinity or lack of or the attack on it. Like kind of. And so I got songs I know word for word that go back and forth. Yeah.
Hmm.
But it plays its part.
What the fuck? Okay. What the fuck is y'all still there, brothers? I don't know what the fuck just happened with this damn. Okay, there we go. It just went ridiculous. I'm trying to find this and drop it in the comment section.
It's like the ultimate hold card. It's like the ultimate hold card. You can talk about somebody all that your mama nigga oh nigga you gay. Nigga I ain't gay. You know what I'm saying? It's the ultimate. It's always like Riley on Bulldogs. You know what I'm saying? It's always the go to like somebody can attack you with. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, I mean that's 100%. 200%. What I'm trying to do is add this article from. Let me see.
Jay, have you ever been accused of being gay?
Realistically, like other than the hood kind of shit.
He said realistic, realistic.
You know, we just talked about how gay is a slur for the worst shit you can be as a black man.
Yeah.
You mean realistically?
I mean, lifestyle. Like I say, I lived a lifestyle.
Yeah, Adisa called me gay.
Okay.
Come on, that's what you gonna come up with, man.
Hey, I'm just saying, it's all I got. Like
I do not call his brother gay. I call him pitiful.
You call me gay, bro. That nigga said
you're not fucking
you sound
gay.
like David Chappelle. He's gay. You didn't call me pitiful. You said, yeah, that nigga gay, man.
No, so here's the thing, man. I don't think the brother is gay. I think the brother is gay. I don't know what the fuck you call this nigga, but this nigga need to tell me some motherfucking stories, man. Like I have never heard so many stories of a nigga turning down some pussy that was put in front of him in my life. You know what I'm saying? Like this nigga would turn that shit down, brother. I mean, he's like this is a special dude, man. Like nigga, I know it. My Lord, man. You know, so I'm just tripping. You know, but no, that's my brother. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, that's what makes him beautiful and special to us, man. Is that
turns the pussy down, right?
I mean, women take the same. I mean, women.
Did you have that? I don't mean to cut you off, Tone, but he has this self-control to say no. My self-control would be to go ahead and fucking just deal with the issues later. But that's my form of self-control. But yeah, no, I think that's what make, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, you know, he's a unique dude, man. You know what I'm saying? A unique dude, you know. And I'm the village idiot. But give me a second.
And I think women are used to saying no. They're not used to hearing no.
Yes.
And so when those boundaries are set up, because they can have some desires, man. Women have their own desires, and they can be really correct.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so, but at the end of the day, it's still like, even if you say no to them too much, they might be like, nigga, what, you gay? You know what I'm saying? So it still can be weaponized by them. Yeah. And so it's like, so they still know, like, nigga, you don't want to be that girl, because so their ego, whatever it is, like, they ain't gonna tell their friend. They rather, it's just easier to pawn you off as being gay. You know what I'm saying? And so if you can't win, it ain't no corner you can turn where we safe from it had not, like, especially since we didn't choose a certain lifestyle. It ain't like I don't know. Whatever lifestyle people choose, how eccentric it's and even beyond my own personal perspective of it, I think it has a politicized agenda because of a lot of advancements in periods of time that have changed the landscape shit of how we exist. Just because of some sexual preference. I think that shit is illegal. So I don't think, because I have a certain disposition to fucking Brussels sprouts. You know what I'm saying? I identify, you know what I'm saying, with a certain appetite and a certain way of eating that everybody should legally have to respect that. You know what I'm saying? Not legally, I don't give a fuck if you do it or not, and you shouldn't be penalized because I'm offended by you not liking me eating Brussels sprouts and shit. So I just think the penalty points and the legal aspects of certain agendas when it comes to, again, how much money a movie making, like I say, Big Mama's House, and just us being in dresses to get more and more. Again, you can't. Okay, well, at least you can. Can you see? I'm asking you this too, Jay. Is there? You think about Jamie Foxx and that Shanae and all that, Joanna Man? Can you see the before and after? Like before certain actors or certain people did certain things to compromise their masculinity, to after the fact to see where they evolved to. Like as far as
So
being rewarded for certain acts.
I didn't. I couldn't. I don't. I couldn't see it. I couldn't see the difference between what happened with Mama's House, Big Mama's House, whatever it was called. Um, I don't know. I think he was a brilliant comedian. Without that, yeah, without that.
Right.
So I don't know if he gained more, more success from doing that or not. You think about what Cat Williams said. I don't know if what he was saying was true. I ain't there, but he said, what did he say? He said, my man asked him to suck his dick.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Who
now I
asked him?
don't. What's the man name? What's his name?
Harvey Weinstein.
He said,
He said Harvey Weinstein asked him if he could suck his dick in front of his whole staff.
Mm.
Yeah.
Harvey Weinstein, he dead, ain't he?
No, he in jail, I believe. He's in prison.
nah, I think he died. I think he hung himself.
No, y'all think about Epstein.
Epstein. Oh, that's who he's.
No,
I thought that's what,
Epstein had the high.
I think both of them did.
No, Weinstein. I promise you, Weinstein.
Okay.
I promise you, Weinstein is not there, brother. It's Epstein from what they call it, Epstein Island. Yeah.
That's how you know you got a lot of information when you're confined and you die. Ain't nobody really killing themselves in jail.
Right. No, of course not. Of course not.
Even this Jehovah Witness, but he never testified the evils.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. I said I appreciate the platform. I appreciate the
Yeah,
perspective.
I didn't know that got so late. I'm still trying to upload this damn file. I don't know what's going on, man. Why it's not allowing me to upload it, but I guess I'll figure it out. But I'm gonna get it to you guys. As a matter of fact, if I just got to email it, y'all. This is actually I don't know what to call it, an article, but it's it's almost like a study by Dr. Wesley Muhammad, and he chronicles how what Mark Lamont Hill said about Malcolm X. The panel that they had, the queering, called it the queering of Malcolm X, how he supported. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, because the queering of it is when you are asked, can a man have a baby? See, there's nothing more. What queer means? Strange.
Yeah, or from what they say from the LGBT community.
No, I ain't talking about what they made it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's insulting.
I thought it was something that meant you were that you didn't know what you were or what you wanted to do. You know what I mean?
It's like asking, like can a man breastfeed? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Like you can't you represent. I mean represent. What I made up for? What Alex, give me made up words for 400. Like represent. Hey, remember that joke they said with Jesse? We were represide. Like
Yeah.
you talk about Jesse Jackson.
Jesse Jackson. Yeah.
We are represide. But no, like, come on, man. Like you represent a certain agenda. You know what I mean? Like if you can't answer just a straight up question, and that's when it gets dangerous.
Yeah.
That's when that's dangerous. You know,
Yeah.
it is. That's just dangerous.
It's super dangerous. Super duper dangerous. To be honest. And that's terrible, man. That this is what. But you have people. I mean, and they feel they have a what's the word I'm looking for? They have a sense of entitlement to be able to do these things and say these things without any without understanding that there's going to be some ramifications or consequences behind it that they have to deal with. Yeah, I sent it to you by email, Jay.
Okay.
Yeah. Tone. If you want to put your email in the chat, or you can say it, I can send it to you.
Okay. It's AS Morgan 77 at gmail.com. It's AS Morgan 77 at gmail.com.
Okay. All right, brothers. Well, since T started it last week, man, any final thoughts of what we're talking about. In fact, before I go, before I say, I'll go first with this. I just sent it to you, T. It's called you T. Tom. What?
Thank
T. Yes, sir. No, actually, man, I'm writing this this script called the Devil's Last Dance, and it actually is like a continuation. Now I want to. It's like a sequel to a Motor Technique, Dance with the Devil,
Yeah.
to the song Dance with the Devil.
Yeah.
So, I one of my characters is a detective, former gang member turned detective, and his character is actually the personality and the way that he speaks is actually based off of you, Tone.
Based off of who?
Based off of you.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was one day, man. I'm sitting, you sit down and
Excuse me, man. House of
he done
Fort
broke in his
Knox.
own house. But no, I wrote the character with you in mind. So I sort of tried to create this dialogue how I think you would have said the parts. With the, so yeah, it was.
I would love to audition for
I mean, no, actually, when I get done with it, man, I'm working on some stuff, y'all. I'm working like a motherfucker. So I'll let you know when they get ready to go into production. I definitely let you know. You be number fucking one on the list. Let you know. You know what I'm saying?
I'm grateful.
But I mean, shit, I'm grateful. That I have a chance to use various personalities like you brothers, man, and listen to you guys, man. Because I do that all the time though. Like when I write something, it may be a point that you all made, while we're talking, that I could go back to.
Oh yeah, yeah.
In memory, and in my memory, and say, let me use this as a frame of reference, to kind of like build a story off of or something. You know what I'm saying? But just to get back, to like our final thoughts. My final thought for the night would be that I believe that us as black men. We lost Doc again. I don't know what the fuck he doing. But you know, my final thought would be that us as black men need to be more vigilant with protecting not just our own egos, but our brothers' egos. Um, we need to be more vigilant in protecting our brothers' names, not allow people to shit on us, you know, when we're not around. Um, and even if we know if even if we don't know the brother, you know, we have to be more vigilant in allow and not allowing people to sully another black man's image or name or deeds, you know. So I think that's my final thought. I think the way I would say is, you know, love ye one another. So that's my final thought.
I appreciate that. I accept that.
Yes, sir.
My final thought is just again, do no harm. And a lot of some of these unnatural constructs are just based in deception, and they have agendas behind them. This ain't got nothing to do with love or nothing like that. This is just people utilizing, I'd say, fear-based tactics to
Yes,
control.
sir.
So we're gonna definitely are coming together as a tribe because how we see everything from the tribe is different. How some of these structures are set up. So I'm just grateful for the platform, and I'm grateful to have the conversation continue.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you, you know, answering the call, man, when I invite you, brother. Trust me, I'm always grateful for that, man.
Yes, sir.
Because I know what I'm saying, that you're gonna give us all something to ponder long after, you know, we end the stream. Um, um, so I wanna try to hold up and wait for Jay to get in, man, but Doc to get in here, but
Yeah,
you know,
I'm
if
tired.
he, I know, man. So
Yeah,
I know if you want to go ahead and go, I'm gonna get a brother about 5 more minutes and see. But if you want to go ahead and sign off, brother, I you farewell, brother. But
okay. Well, brother, I appreciate the, like I said, I appreciate the time, I appreciate the energy,
yes,
appreciate
sir.
your intentionality. Getting some of these dialogues started. That's a fire start from this spark. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So,
Yes, sir.
I am tired, man. I have been giving my energy today, but I love you, brothers, and I love you, and
You too, man.
and
Always,
any
brother.
sign. All right.
All right, brother. You
Peace,
have a good
everybody.
night.
Thank you for
Peace, brother.
watching. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to follow, like, and watch and share. Great content.
Yes, sir, brother. Thank you, brother. Appreciate that.
Yo.
All right, peace.
Peace.
Trying to get Dr. Maybe get in here. Let me see. See what Doc get his ass in here. We're gonna give him a little more time, but you know, everybody that, you know, if you peeked in, please, you know, keep peeking in. You also could find this page on YouTube and TikTok, the Reconnect podcast. And you know, we would love, you know, for you all to, you know, try to sign on and check us out. Um, we're grateful, you know, for anyone, you know, who supports us. I know I am. I'm gonna keep working vigorously to try to make this platform better. And I hope that you all who look in can find some value, find some worth, find some use out of this page. So I'm gonna go ahead and sign off. I was trying to get brother some time to get back in here, and it seems that it's been 5 minutes. So y'all have a good night. Thank y'all. Appreciate y'all. Be good to yourselves. Be good to each other. Peace.